So briefly, we have Riley Stevens, who's a director and filmmaker at Chapman College Film School. We have Jyothi Nookula, which is an AI product director at Netflix. And then we have Nick Kleverov, who's the chief creative officer at Native Foreign. But before we jump into the films, the panel, and the conversations, I want to take some time to talk about where we are and where things are going. Frankly, right now, AI is moving fast. Too fast for most people to fully keep up with. The experts don't agree. The headlines are all over the place. And if you feel overwhelmed, you're not alone. But here's the twist. That chaos, that confusion, that sense of rapid change, it's also what makes this moment so exciting. Because when nobody has all the answers, everyone does. The playing field is more open now than it's ever been. There are fewer gatekeepers, fewer barriers, and the tools are more accessible now than ever. If you've got curiosity and perspective, you can do something meaningful. And that's a rare moment in history. Of course, this isn't the first time technology has shaken things up. When photography came out, painters were threatened. When CGI arrived, traditional filmmakers rolled their eyes. Steve Ballmer, then CEO of Microsoft, literally laughed at the iPhone. He said, the iPhone doesn't appeal to business customers because it doesn't have a keyboard, which makes it not a very good email machine. Now, it may sell very well, I don't know. We all know how that turned out. Sometimes the new needs a friend. YouTube vlogging fast editing styles were once dismissed as amateurish. Digital cameras sparked real resistance from film purists who loved the texture and ritual of film. For a while, traditional film seemed to disappear, but it didn't die, it just evolved. And now, with the resurgence of vintage film, we see that none of the new tools ruined art, they expanded it. The old ways are still here, thriving alongside the new. Moreover, sometimes technology takes a while to progress, and it can be impossible for even frontier artists and technologists to predict how their field will evolve. Just give you an example, we can see here one of the first feature animated films with CGI, Toy Story in 1992, and then the progression we have till today. Now, I want to point out that one of the reasons Pixar chose to do toys for the first film is because computers at the time could not handle the computational complexity to do something like human hair. And so we can see how far the technology has come to the point where even Anger over there, he has almost like hair all over his skin. It's almost like they're showing off, like they're overcompensating from the past. We see the same thing with traditional animation. 1928 versus 2024, how far technology has come. And then even live action. 1888 up there, all the way till today, in 2025. And I mentioned earlier, it can be difficult to predict for even the experts. So at the time, in 1888, that camera and that filmmaker was state of the art. Do you think if you asked him in 1888 that he would have a computer-generated dragon that he could have in film? Computers weren't even a concept at the time. So we're at the beginning of another shift, one that's already changing how we make things, who gets to make them, and what's possible. I'm not saying it's all good. I'm saying it's happening. And because it's happening, we owe it to each other to prepare, not panic. So tonight, I want to speak plainly and start by addressing a few of the biggest fears around AI and creativity. Some myths. So myth number one, AI is replacing artists. Yes, it's easier than ever to generate content. You can clone voices, generate visuals, create music or motion with a prompt. But AI can't feel. It can't know the why or the true reason you're making something. AI can't replace the soul of the work. What these tools are doing isn't erasing the human element, they're enhancing it. Myth number 2, AI is doing the storytelling now. This one comes up a lot. AI can remix tone, simulate structure, and follow a format, but storytelling has never been about format, really. At its core, storytelling is about a point of view. It's about lived experience and emotional truth. Tools evolve, meaning is a human constant. As the old saying goes, if a tree falls in the forest and nobody is around to hear it, does it make a sound? Yes, objectively that sound still occurs, but we are what gives that sound, that event, meaning. We are what gives stuff meaning. We tell the stories. And creativity isn't being replaced, it's being reorganized. Just like when creative roles shifted from painting to photography and analog music to digital electronic music, the art and attention to craft is what matters in the transition. The most interesting work I see right now isn't coming from people using AI to do everything. It's coming from those who mix tools like a collage, who use AI not as a crutch, but as an extension of their craft. Moving forward, the art isn't in pushing the AI create this button, it's in knowing why to push it, when to stop, and how to shape what comes next. Myth number 3, there is a right and a wrong way to be an artist. One of the most powerful voices in animation, Hayao Miyazaki, the founder of Studio Ghibli. His work has inspired generations of artists through its emotional depth, attention to hand-drawn detail, and commitment to human storytelling. He's built a legacy rooted in tradition, drawing every frame with purpose, resisting trends that felt soulless or shallow. Recently, there was a viral clip circulating online where people claimed Miyazaki was condemning AI-generated animation. In it, he calls the so-called AI animation an insult to life itself. Strong words. But the truth is, that clip was from years ago, and he was reacting to a CGI demo experiment with AI-powered movements, not AI animation like we have today. The demo was of a digital CGI puppet, so to speak, with an AI pulling the strings, not AI animation.
We used to meet every morning, though not lately. I have a friend with a physical disability. Even just doing a high five with him is really difficult. His muscles are tight, so when our hands touch, it's like we're both putting in real effort. His arm with stiff muscle reaching out to my hand. Now thinking of him, I can't watch this stuff and find it interesting. Whoever creates this stuff has no idea what pain is or whatsoever. I'm utterly disgusted. If you really want to make creepy stuff, you can go ahead and do it.
The truth of what happened is much more understandable. Now, Miyazaki has made creepy animation like this before, zombies, magical creatures, but this was less to do with technology and more to do with the movements of the CGI that reminded him of his disabled friend. To Miyazaki, it was insulting to his friend. Let me be clear, I love Studio Ghibli and traditional animation. Miyazaki is an icon. But he too is a human being with his own perspective. His bias and passion for traditional animation is what makes his work so great. But that doesn't mean that CGI animation isn't great too. It doesn't mean live action isn't great too. There are many different ways to express beauty through art, and even the icons and experts can disagree. So in my view, the reason Miyazaki had such a visceral reaction in that clip wasn't about the technology, it was about the intention. And that's a critical distinction. It's not the tool that determines the value of the work, it's what you do with it. Miyazaki's success didn't come from holding on to purpose and intention. The purpose and intention can live in traditional animation, and it can live in AI workflows too, if we choose to bring it there. So myth number 4, the last one, this one's kind of personal, but using AI means you didn't do anything. So the moment I say I made something with AI, a lot of people instantly assume that I didn't really make anything at all. The assumption is that there was no skill involved, that the AI did everything, that it's somehow cheating. But anyone who's actually used these tools, whether it's ChatGPT or AI music apps, AI filmmaking workflows, knows that it's not that simple. There's an art and a craft to guiding the tool. Some call it prompt engineering or vibe coding, but at its core, it's about choice. It's about knowing what to ask, when to stop, and how to shape what comes out. Just like operating a camera, editing a film, or composing a song, there's intention in every step. AI is not replacing skill, it's shifting where skill shows up. The role of the creative is shifting. It's becoming part artist, part conductor. It's about knowing how to use intention and taste alongside these new tools. And in many ways, that's nothing new. Computers have been a part of music, animation, and film for decades. What's different now is the scale and speed. And yes, it can feel exhausting. Every week there's a new update, a new platform, a new skill to learn. Not everyone can or will adapt quickly, and that's okay. The goal isn't to keep up with the machine, it's to bring what the machine can't. Taste, perspective, memory, meaning, context. These still come from people, from life. You and I can enter the exact same prompt and get different results. And I can enter the same prompt twice and get different results. What this means and what makes the difference isn't necessarily the tool, it's the hands that hold it. This means that your viewpoint matters more than ever. AI lowers the floor to entry and raises the ceiling of expectations simultaneously. Anyone can start, and the best can now go even further. But that also means the expectations are changing. People want prototypes in days, not weeks. The new expectation will be better storytelling, higher quality shots, faster turnarounds, more content, higher polish. And with that, the shape of the industry might shift. Frankly, maybe a film doesn't need thousands of people. Maybe it takes 10 or 100. And maybe we don't get 200 films a year, we get 2,000. That doesn't mean fewer opportunities, it means more doors, more stories, more people who finally get to live their dream of directing or writing, more people doing what they love to do rather than what they're forced to do by necessity. Some artists have a deep hatred for AI. They believe it's going to destroy their jobs, cheapen their work, or degrade the soul of art itself. Others are embracing it, because for the first time, they can bring to life creative works they never thought possible. For them, it's not about giving something up, it's about unlocking something new. Artists aren't a monolith. They're people with different values, needs, and ideas of what's important. Some hate it, some love it, and many are just trying to figure it out. To those who are afraid, I want to say, it's okay. It's normal. Change is coming, and it's coming fast. But fear alone won't stop it. We can bury our heads in the sand, we can scream into the void, or we can get to work figuring out how to make it better. Together. Tools don't have opinions. We do. What happens next is up to us. But one thing is clear. A new creative renaissance is just getting started, and you're invited. So tonight, you'll see a few visions of that future, films shaped by AI but directed by people, stories that blend technology with perspective. And afterward, we'll talk to the filmmakers and AI product experts. You'll be able to ask questions and we'll explore this space together. So again, thank you for being here. Let's begin. So in order to move forward, thank you. Thank you. So in order to move forward into this new era, we should honor some of those who have come before. And I hope you'll find this Oscars montage educational.